The news is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, the Wellness Center, Medical and Behavioral Health Clinics, Ticely Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, HOV Medical and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment. Issues surrounding the controversial police bill moved to another level of discussion at the February 16, 2023 District 3 community meeting when residents took to the microphone publicly sharing their thoughts. The Police Bill 2023 did not get its second and third reading when the House of Assembly sat on February 10, 2023. It was held back as legislators and John Public zeroed in on a number of human rights violations. Now John Public is speaking up candidly, sharing different angles that should this bill go forward in its current state, outcomes can be less than favorable.
I don't have exact numbers, but there are a large number of persons in the BVI who are in prison because they have been incarcerated and they have not had a day in court. It sounds to me, from what I'm hearing with this police bill, if it were passed and implemented, that we will have an explosion of persons who can be arrested and will have no idea when they will see a day in court, because currently, the current situation in this territory, persons who are arrested and charged, whenever, in a lot of instances, they are brought before the court for hearing, it is postponed because further investigations are being conducted. Persons are either incarcerated or some persons are put on bail. But that case drags on for years. My concern is, while I would like to see the Police Act modernized, I think the judicial system needs a serious overhaul about how they can incarcerate persons in the community, not give them a day in court, and now want to give the police more ability to incarcerate even more persons. That is my first area of concern, sir.
Good evening to everyone. I just want to say that I think that the police bill should be thrown out in its entirety.
Obviously, the police have a problem in terms of executing their office, collecting evidence, arrests, etc., and having successful outcomes. They have a problem. You say you met with them, and I don't know what they told you, but whatever it is, this is not the fix. Right? We can fix it better than this. All right? We don't know who the draft persons are in the Attorney General office who put this thing together.
Evidently, it wasn't done there, so don't go.
Oh, really? But that's not the process.
we get bills.
Flawed right there. So we have a problem. No, you open a can of worm, because we elected 13 of you to the House of Assembly to look after our affairs. We have our own individual business to take care of. So we want to make sure that we elect the right people to look after our affairs while we are busy doing something else. But it seems to me that y'all not doing what y'all supposed to do. Y'all are not the watchdog of these legislation for the people and representing the people's view and making sure they're not abused and are protected from such abuse, right? So that's one of my main problems. So this bill in its current form and state, and it's not being done by draft people in the Attorney General office, need to go back to where it was examine the present Police Act and make the relevant changes, modernize it to suit our present situation. But we must give the police a hearing as to what their issues are in executing their office, making arrests, and having successful prosecutions. All right, that obviously they have problems, and we have some ex-officers here, right? So that need to be considered.
One of the issues with policing, brothers and sisters, police officers are normal citizens from your community, and we only have the power to arrest in or out of uniform. You can also do citizen arrest. The first member who came up here touched a powerful point, and that just come because the Bar Association, the lawyers, fail the people. Anybody who is charged, the prosecution or the police, either the police side, they have a duty to complete the case within a reasonable time. That's why we have something by the name of statute of limitation. Certain summary charges, if you commit the offense in January, and by July the police can charge you, that's it. There's summary, but if you're indicted like murder and rape and so forth, they can go a bit longer. So that tells you something. So the judiciary, the honorable magistrate, whoever he or she is, from the time a man is remanded, 2-3 months, and the police don't ready, I'm sorry, I'm dismissing this case, you can always bring it back. That's the solution. So it's not to say that poor us and poor, if the system closes its eyes to certain things. You have a man charged January this year. From the time August, July, and the police is not ready to prosecute, throw out, as we say in my country, dash it out. They can always bring it back. So we have that on our side. The next big issue we have with policing in the BVI, brothers and sisters, we have a different system of policing than our UK brothers. We got it from them. They think it was antiquated and they throw it away. We call it the judge's rule. Clarence McTavish is one of my teachers, powerful man. Thank you for teaching me, sir. And we start like this, rule 1. Whenever a police officer is trying to find out or determine who commits an offense, the police officer is entitled to question any person, whether suspected or not. This is so even though you take the person into custody, you don't have to get a warrant. As long as you don't tell a guy you're going to be reported or charged for the offense. But when you're going to custody now, our constitution is silent with that, saying about reasonable time. We have to put more emphasis, and our prosecutors, there is where we're falling down. The police get all this evidence out of the new police act, brothers and sisters. And you go and you present it, and at the end of the prosecution, the jury says, not guilty. You can't blame the police, the investigator, the witness. We have a challenge and we're just closing our eyes because, let me refine my language, because they appear to come from a university. Brother Davis, don't hit me too hard in my head. People have this concept, from the time you have a degree, that's it. That's just the beginning when it comes to prosecution. It's a skill. You have to learn it. We have to put more emphasis on the DPP office if we want to live in this country in the peace and the serenity and tranquility that we're accustomed to.
One of the differences between our jurisdiction and other jurisdictions is that the police force is democratically accountable to someone. And so here it is, what is happening is that what is being proposed is that we put more power in the hands of, let's say, a police force that we don't trust, and quite frankly doesn't trust itself, which is only accountable to the governor, who's accountable to someone in the United Kingdom, who we don't know, probably never heard of. I think when Lord Goldsmith came down here, that was probably the first time any of us have ever heard of the man. And that is who our governor is responsible to. And so the question is whether that is something that is acceptable to us in the Virgin Islands. Or should, at the very least, the police commissioner be accountable to the National Security Council, which is composed not only of the governor, but our top elected representatives and top public officers as well.
This was at a February 16 District 3 community meeting called by senior legislator, opposition leader, and representative for the district, Honorable Julian Fraser, who said he is still seeking to find out who are the authors of the bill.
The other item on the agenda, which if you're not aware of it, it means that you're living too good, because it has implications that are deep. It's the Police Bill 2023. It is true that the bill was out in public. I was at a meeting up at the school. I wish we had a turnout like this. Unfortunately, when I looked in the room, there was only one person that I could consider a civilian in the room. And those are the kind of things that we call consultation with the public. I don't feel that that's consultation with the public. I think gathering like this is what you could consider to be public consultation. And the more I look at the bill, the more I want to find the person who drafted the bill. Because we can't find the people who draft the bill. Those of you who might think that I was somewhere sleeping, why I don't know who drafted the bill, to the point. You're telling us not to pass the bill. And we're asking the question where the bill came from. I don't know if the Premier knows where the bill came from, who drafted it. I don't know if he knows. But they have a thing called the National Security Council, which I'm not a part of. And I don't know what's discussed in the National Security Council, because to me, the National Security Council is like the lodge. And I can prove it, because you remember when in the opposition, there was like four of us in the opposition? Four of us in the opposition. After the unity government was formed, two of the members gone over there, and they are ministers now. And you think those guys will come to me and let me know what's going on in the government? So that's why I say it's like the lodge. When you're outside the lodge and you and your friend sit down on a log and you're wondering what's going on in there. You don't know. Well, I don't know what's going on. Okay, here's the deal. You join, and you come back and tell me. As soon as that guy joins, you never see him again. So whatever is discussed in the National Security Council regarding these bills, especially the police bill, because the Commissioner of Police is in the National Security Council.
Present at that meeting was Territorial at-Large Representative and the Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Neville Sheep Smith, who said that when consulted, the BVI Bar Association spotted major red flags at first glance.
So we have to be very careful with this bill. I mean, I'm the first to tell you that I actually wrote the Bar Association some advice on this. And they came back and they told us plain out, we should leave this bill alone. Okay, we should leave it alone and get more time so they could go over that bill. So that can show you that we are not just sitting down and waiting. We are working, we are trying our best to find out what it is. Because like Mr. Fraser said, who drafted this bill? We really don't know.
You can check out much more details on this meeting on our Facebook page.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050.
Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year.
Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.